What's up, everyone? It's Pietra Elise, and we are here in Los Angeles on the red carpet of Queen Sugar, my favorite show. We're going to speak to some of the cast members, and Oprah Winfrey herself, the lady of the hour, is coming up next. All that and more coming up next on Rolling Out TV. How would you say that this role has changed your life in acting?
Man, it's so interesting. Not only the role, but what Queen Sugar celebrates has changed my life. You know, everyone involved takes big responsibility in not only like the stories we tell, but how we tell them. And I see that Mike is being used to advocate to the 18 to 25 that are still finding their politics, still finding, what clothes I want to wear, how I want to talk and stuff. So that informs me to know that people that look and love like me are like ever capable. You know what I mean? I don't need to be some stuck-up politician or have $1 million to be heard, you know?
And how would you say that this experience will change your career?
It already has. I mean, I'm on a red carpet with Miss Oprah Winfrey right down there, you know? But no, seriously, Queen Sugar has definitely lessened my fear of failure or judgment. You know what I mean? In addition to being like an actor, I'm a human. You know, we all walk out with our insecurities and things like that. And Queen Sugar has done a lot to minimize, if not completely eliminate that. Yeah.
Has this experience taken anything away from your lifestyle, like your life as you?
I can't go to McDonald's and stand on the table and eat a McFlurry anymore. You know what I mean? People always got you on World Star or TNT or something. So that's interesting. But honestly, with the acknowledgement of who I am and saying like, oh, you're an actor, comes like a deep appreciation for what this show does and how patient it is. And that's my auntie, that's my cousin you remind me of. And that's enough, you know? I'll forego my invisibility for that any day.
What would you say is the biggest attribute that you've learned from Ava and Oprah this far?
Intention, to be intentional with your work, with your relationships, with who you're around, even with what you wear, you know what I mean? That everything is saying something, so say it proud.
What would be your biggest takeaway from this whole experience?
My biggest takeaway is definitely intention is important because a lot of what I'm experiencing is in my journal. So that's a beautiful thing. In terms of the network that I'm working with, and I'm talking literally the network and my castmates and everyone, it's really important that we all have a joined and aligned intention. And we do. You know, our cast absolutely has the intention to bring to Queen Sugar our absolute best and to have the storytelling and the characters be more important than we are as individuals. That's important. Mm-hmm.
And what would you say at this point would be the biggest lesson that you've learned from Oprah and Ava?
The what lesson did you say? The okay. To commit to excellence. I mean, that's what they represent, right? And you actually see that excellence in every single aspect of Queen Sugar, from them to the writers, to the cast, to the directors, to our crew. There is excellence that shows up on our set every single day, and a commitment to excellence. And I think that you know how they say the fish rots from the head down. Well, it also shines and stands strong from the head down, and we are about excellence.
How would you say that you relate to your character?
How do I relate to my character? I love how Aunt Vi loves. You know, we both love family. Tina Lifford loves family a lot. We love a little differently. Aunt Vi's love is super intense, and it is very specific. It's about her family. It's about her family. I love I love my family, and I also love a little more broadly than she does. But and I tell you another thing that I love about Aunt Vi is Aunt Vi. Here's the difference between us. Aunt Vi doesn't yet actively seek to grow. She wants to keep everything the way it is because that's what she knows, that's what she understands, and she likes it like that. And I'm aware of how important it is to let moments grow us. And so I'm more committed to growth and exploring than Aunt Vi is. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have you ever gotten that you look like the singer, Joe?
Oh, absolutely. All the time. And I wish I could sing. I sound like a dying turtle, like someone is strangling a frog. If I had that man's gift, I mean, I'd have 8 albums right now. I don't sing a little bit. I think I'm a little heavier than him, but I hear it all the time. But I admire him as a singer. I'm from New York. I've always loved Joe. I love him now. I love the quality of music. I love his songwriting style. I love his voice. So I always consider that a compliment. And I can't sing. How about that?
I would have to say you look like him. I was like, is that Joe? But yeah. So working with Oprah, how has this experience been for you?
Artistically transformational. Working with Ava, working with Rutina Wesley, working with all of these phenomenal female directors. You know, I've been working in show business on television about 24 years. I mean, I can count the amount of female directors on one hand. That's, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, or that's a fucking little. And so you knew the perspective would be different, the approach would be different, and the product is different.
So would you say in this generation now, since they're setting the movement for women to take control, would you say that's a good thing for our new generation?
I think equality. I mean, I don't know if it's taking control. How about just equality? How about you give them the same shot that everybody else gets? I mean, no one's asking to be on the throne and rule over anyone. The women are like, I mean, we're here. We are capable. Will you? No, we're not waiting for you to open the door. Everybody wants equality. I mean, some people want to be on top and rule over people, but I don't think that's what we female directors are saying. We are here. Employ us. And if you don't, we all create our own lane. As Ava says, create your own house. Create your own house. And it's about damn time. I was raised by a single parent woman. I was raised by my mom, raised me and my sisters. I'm the youngest. I got 4 older sisters. I've been around strong women my entire life. So that's not a strange phenomenon to me. I was raised by one.
So we are in Hollywood. Some people call it Holly weird. Mm-hmm. How would you say discipline has been an attribute for you?
Oh, you won't survive. It's like your friends that complain to NBA, but they can't control their drug habits. It's like you got some of the best ballers and out on the court. If you cannot focus, you can't get through college. If you can't, the best players with the best amount of talent, if you can't focus yourself, if you don't have the discipline, you're not going to be able to get to where you want to get to. Hollywood. When I first got here, I'm forgetting his name, but he was on not NYPD Blue. He played the captain, African-American actor. He's a lot older. He was also in Malcolm X. But I met him at my first party, like at Yamashiro up on the hill. And I came, fresh to Los Angeles. He was like, hey, I was doing a sitcom at the time. He was like, hey, I was like, hey, yes, sir. He was like, I'm seeing him. Like, we're on the same network on ABC. He was like, stay out the clubs, kid. I was like, huh? He was like, stay out the clubs, you'll make it.
Right.
He was not incorrect. Stay out those clubs. I mean, it's okay to enjoy yourself, but without discipline, you won't make it. You'll fitter out. You'll find more vices than you can handle, and they will undo you.
For inspiring creators or actors, do you feel like you've ever missed out on anything because of that discipline?
I mean, you might miss out a couple of strip club visits, but you don't need those. That's not going to lead you anywhere. Discipline has been everything for me. It's allowed me to have a family, to be married, to have kids, to be able to support them, to be able to be a good son, a good brother. It's been everything for me. It's made the difference in my life. It's to be the kind of person you want to be, not just the kind of professional you want to be the kind of person. It's going to require you to say no to some damn things.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So working with Oprah, how has this experience been for you, and what is a good attribute that you've learned from her?
Oprah's incredibly inspiring and supportive and loving, and she's like a genius. So an attribute, I think that her and Ava are supportive of people, and they really like nurture, and so there's something, and it's like such a sense of team spirit. There's no kind of like, okay, this person is so isolated, and I think there's something about a sense of community that I think she creates that I've learned from in terms of in my life.
So what would be the most impactful thing that you'll take away from this experience?
The most impactful thing in this experience, I mean, when you get to work with people that are so extraordinary and such great humans, it makes you just feel like very hopeful about everybody else, about life, you know? Like there are really, really extraordinary people out there, and this has been a job unlike any other job for me. It's affected me not just in terms of artistically, but personally. I feel like I've grown so much as a person. So yeah, I've just been learning so much from them.
So what attracted you to this script?
Oh, well, I mean, I really wanted to play this part, and I really, really wanted to work with Ava, and I'd never gotten an opportunity to play a character like this, and I wanted to work with these directors and have this experience, this artistic experience, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, I have to play Darla because I'll get to do so much, you know, in a ways that I haven't been able to do. I've never gotten, like, you know, an opportunity to play a character like this.
Oh, I heard that you really respect the role that you're playing. What do you
Yes.
respect so much about your role?
Because he's everything that men should be. Takes care of the women in his life, takes care of the children in his life. They don't have to be your woman. They don't have to be your children. They just have to be the people that are in your life, because that's what men do. Takes care of the community, puts people before himself. If we had more men like that in our world would be a lot better off, even with all the dynamic, independent women that are rock stars. If we had men that were like that, you only have to look at what's going on in our country, our administration. If we had men that were like that, our country would be a lot better off.
Right. And I know that you've been acting for a long time, so what would you say is the key to consistency?
One, making sure that you strengthen your craft as often as you possibly can. And two, literally making it about your spirituality and understanding that it's not just about making money. The money comes. If you stay committed to the art and the craft of it, the money comes. If anything that you do in life, if it's about the money, it goes bad fast. Have it be about what the work is, the money comes.
What would you say would be the biggest thing that you've learned from Oprah today?
Wow. Every day is, I mean, she's like a walking encyclopedia. Like every time you have a conversation with her, it could be about potato chips. You're like, yeah, I gotta write this down. I can't just have one Lay's. Everything that she says is something that I feel like I can apply to my life and have that be managed better. I can't point to one thing because every time we talk, it turns into something substantive. And like I said, it can start over something mindless as potato chips and then turn into something that changes the world. So that's one of the reasons why I love having her be executive producer, having it be on her, you know, her network. And then, you know, being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey. Is there anything better in life? I don't think so.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were going to quit acting before this opportunity.
Yes.
How has Oprah, working with Oprah, changed that for you?
It's magical. I would have dreams, conversations, discussions, debates, all kinds of things about how I wanted to be involved in something. And I would speak things and talk about it, but I said I wanted to be a part of a hit series one day. And here I am with Oprah Winfrey on her network, you know, on a television show created by a woman who adapted a novel by a woman who hired all women directors and is bringing about a balance in this industry that I think is long overdue. And I say all that because all the things that I asked for, they had never happened the way that they were happening without the people who are in my life now. these women telling me what to do all the time. And I noticed that this has been one of the best experiences of my career, having all of this female, powerful, queen-like, intelligent, strong, about time energy. And, you know, working with Oprah Winfrey and being here for this event today is awesome. You know, I'm not being braggadocious, but a lot of people may never even experience something like this. And so for me, I take this like it's part of my dream come true, which it is, but it's to be here and it's real. Like, you're right here. This microphone is right here. It gives me a feeling of, I don't even know the word, but it's like when something happens and you're like, okay, this is really happening, and it's all good. The good just keeps coming, you know. And we live in a world where there's so much chaos and turmoil, where you're waiting for something bad to happen. But whenever I'm dealing with a Queen Sugar event, the good just keeps coming, and I need that, especially being so in tune with how much pain we experience in life. But being on a Queen Sugar show with a Queen Sugar event with all the Queen Sugar cast and some of the crew and the directors, it's amazing. I love it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you taking any director notes from Oprah and Ava?
Ava and Oprah teach me something every time they walk in the room. They just don't know it because I'm watching them. I'm like, hey, man, be quiet. You see them here, man. And I observe all the time. They're teachers of whether they want to be or not. And I love it because they do everything in excellence. So I can't help but watch.
Will we ever get to see you directing one day?
I hope so. That's a plan of mine. Yep. I want to write, produce, direct, and do the musical score of a film that I star in Chicago, because that's where I'm from. So
Nice.
I want to do something back at the hometown.
Nice. I hear that you have a wife and you also learn a lot from your script.
Right.
What are some things that you've learned from your script that's been impactful in your life?
How to fix stuff around the house, not always hire somebody. And what's so funny, my daughters, I tried to ask my daughters, I said, am I like Hollywood? It's like, yeah, but you don't fix stuff around the house, so I try to fix stuff. And I try my best not to break it, but, once in a while I might break the garbage disposal. I have to call somebody professional then. But, I then try to also be a little bit more attentive at home. More than anything.
How do you say that this role, working with Oprah, has changed your career or will change your career?
It has. It's changed the trajectory of my career. To be honest, played a lot of bad guys. Played a lot of funny characters. Now it's women actually are like, yo, I really like this guy. I can see him being a leading man in a movie, and I will go see his movie. So that's something I never would have thought. But that's something that Ava saw in me a long time ago. She told me that 3 years ago when she first gave me the script for this film, for this TV show, and it's really been going on like that since.
So do you feel like you would get more roles like this, or do you feel like you're going to branch out after this?
Well, the thing about it is I'm just getting more roles that are different than the things I've been playing for a long time. I'm in a film called Cargo, where I just play a humble fisherman. And it's nothing dangerous about him. He's just a regular guy, who has a wife and has a kid. And, I have another film called Thank You for Your Service that just came out a couple weeks ago. That plays like well, he's sort of a bad guy, but he doesn't think he's bad. I'm getting more chances and getting more opportunities now for people to see me in a different light.
And how has discipline played a role in all of this?
You have to be disciplined. As soon as you sit down and get your scripts and all of that, you have to sit there and break it down and do all the work. It's funny, my daughter goes to Howard now, and so she was studying theater out here. Now she's studying theater at Howard, and I taught her that discipline, and she took it to school, and then she's excelling in that. And my wife the same way. I see her when she's doing her acting classes and all of that. It's the discipline that they all saw that I had, and you can see them all flying now. Yeah.
It's such a pivotal time in the industry. Why is it so important for everyone to own their own content?
Why is it so important for everyone? I have a network about that. I believe that, first of all, not everybody can own their own content. So I understand that. For me, the most important thing is being engaged with content that comes out of a true space for you, out of a pure place for you. So do not put anything on the air out into the world that energetically is going to harm the world. That's always been my motto, is to be a force for good, and not just in your own personal life, but that your work is your art, and your work, will be your legacy, regardless of who that is. So you put a bunch of dark, trashy stuff out there that causes people to feel more aggravated, that causes people to not be the best of themselves, then that is your karma. You will pay a debt for that. So more importantly than owning your own stuff, because I think owning your own stuff, it takes time to get to the place where you can own your own stuff. So I would not want to discourage somebody just because they couldn't own their own work. But own your own reason for doing the work. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so that is it for the red carpet of Queen Sugar. I hope you enjoy everything. We came, we saw, and we are rolling out.